Well, hey there, guys. I am doing your Sunday school lesson from our classroom, but you guys aren't here, so it's really weird. And I'm talking into the camera instead of looking at your sweet little faces, so that's also just a little bit different for me. So bear with me. We're going to cover the last lesson that we went through a couple Sundays ago. I'll just kind of give you a refresher. The workbook pages we didn't get to, we were going to do them as part of our next lesson, but you will get to look at those at home, and we will figure out a way to get all that to you so that way you can get it done. Real super simple. You'll still earn your stars while you are not in the classroom. Just watch the video and let me know that you watched it. Have your parents send me a text or an email. And if there's a messenger app that you guys use, then I am happy to take messages from you, and if you have questions, just let me know. Yeah, I think we will figure out a way that we can all get something out of the prize bucket when we get back together. But for now, we are going to kind of recap a little bit in our story and lesson of who crucified Jesus and why. So we've covered Saul, we covered King David and how he was an amazing king. We've covered how Solomon followed in David's footsteps and he was the wisest of the kings. But everybody had their sin issues. And we talked about the cycle that Israel kept finding itself in, where Israel does what is evil in the sight of the Lord, and then God judges Israel, and then the people cry out to God because they don't like their current situation. And then God raises up a judge, or he somehow alleviates their pain and suffering at that moment. So we even talked about how this applied even to the Israelites in the wilderness, how when they were hungry, God brought them manna and quail, and how when they were thirsty, God provided them water. So God has always provided for us, even way back to the very beginning, anytime we find ourselves in a time of suffering or need. And if you remember the fifth step in that cycle, the judge dies or our need is met and we go back to everything is great and hunky-dory, and then we repeat the cycle all over. We start sinning again. So just keep all these things in mind as we are continuing to go through our lessons and answer the big question of who crucified Jesus and why. But then also don't forget how it applies to our daily life. And we talked about that quite a bit, about how we find ourselves in that same cycle as the Israelites did. So we've made it all the way through Solomon. We have a bunch of kings that aren't very, focused on God the way that David was. And then we get to the part of the story where the nation of Israel is split into two groups. They are split into Judah and Israel, but they are still covenant breakers. They are still continuing to sin, and therefore God, brings punishment upon them, and he allows them to be conquered and taken into captivity. And if you remember, one of the reasons why Israel wanted a king is because everybody else had a king. Well, now they are kingless. There's no throne, there's no temple, there's no land, and they're just wallowing in sin. They're a very sick people, a very sinful people, and they just can't see their way out of it. So God continues to try to reach his people. He sends prophets to give them a message of hope, and we know that he is a good and faithful God, and he has kept all of his promises thus far, to his promise to Abraham and his covenant with the nation of Israel, and even the 10 commandments that we broke somewhere in here, but we continue to break our covenant with God. So in our next lesson, we'll talk more about the prophets and specifically Isaiah. But we did discuss the message of hope that he is going to be sending. We talked about how David's eternal throne, will be fulfilled, and it will come through the tribe of Judah. And we talked a whole lot about sin and the punishment of death and how that's really what we deserve. So, I think that covers most of our review for that lesson, I will send out your workbook pages, and the parents will have a little like reference sheet that they can look at if they've got time. And hopefully we can set up like a little Zoom call or something where we can all get on and talk about golden calves and Minecraft, golden hippopotamuses and Minecraft and all the other fun things. And JD, I hope your belated birthday present was okay. I'm so sorry we didn't get that to you before your birthday. And it looks like our next birthday is Jack's, not till May. Alright, well, I've got some time to plan for that one. So, anyway, I hope you guys are doing really good. I really, really miss you all. I didn't like it when I had to not see you for a couple weeks ago, and then now I haven't seen y'all for a couple weeks now, and I'm ready to, have to tell you guys to put your toys down and listen again. So, I hope you guys are all finding lots of ways to stay busy and get your schoolwork done and love your parents and love your siblings. And I will talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye-bye.